people want instant results, and you don't get the results without doing the work long enough. And there's a lot of times no reward until that hockey stick. That's the crazy part, is there are achievements along the way, but a lot of the times you're too busy doing the work necessary to even know that they're there.
Welcome to the Fuel Hunt Show.
What's going on, Eagles? I'm Joey. This is the Fuel Hunt Show. I'm joined by Drew. And on this show, what do? We learn how to be one of the few, so we can strengthen ourselves and strengthen society. This is going to make the intro, I think, moving forward, because we got to let people know what we're doing here.
Yeah, I'm big in. I'm big in. Yeah.
All right. And that's nice little bookend or book start. Bookend. For the sign off too. So I think it's here to stay.
Yeah.
This is going to be a quick hitter. Can I use that term? Isn't a quick hitter like something for
that is paraphernalia. Yeah.
I don't partake.
No, I did at one point in my life. I did, but no longer.
It's a plant, right? So you're go plants.
Exactly.
You go plants.
Actually, not anymore. Just meat and fruit anymore. So no more plants.
I'm on the same tip, dude. Meat and berries specifically.
Yeah, real ones know, dude. Real ones know.
Yeah. I do have a banana from time to time. I do enjoy bananas, but
wait. So you don't eat any other fruit?
Raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, bananas, oranges. And apples.
I don't discriminate, bro. And
any fruit can get it.
Any fruit can get it. And dude, I don't know. I just got put on. I had my first one in 2023, and I've eaten 1,000 since.
Dates.
Yeah,
dates are banging.
Dude, they are the fucking best fruit I've ever
Do you like
had.
Figs?
Yeah, I love figs.
Okay.
Well, I just had them this year too.
You're not a cheese guy.
No.
You raw. How about raw cheese? Okay. Well, let's cut the cheese out.
I'm not saying cheese is bad for you. I'm just saying my gut health, I stay away from cheese.
You take a fig and you put some gorgonzola on the fig, and then you wrap it in prosciutto.
I'm out. Man. However, I do partake daily in dates and butter. Bro, I think that's the same effect you're talking about. It's kind of like those
fatty.
Fatty. That would hit your taste buds.
Yeah.
The food pairing.
Yeah, I got you. Yes.
I'm not big on prosciutto though, and I'm also not big on gorgonzola.
Prosciutto, I might turn into a leg of it. Yeah, I eat a lot of it.
Isn't prosciutto more like a salami?
No, it's ham. It's cured ham. It's cured a specific way. But I get the real stuff, like no nitrates, like none of that. Like the real stuff.
Prosciutto. I thought it was more like a salami. I like a salami style.
No, this is like a ham. It's like it's ham, Italian ham.
But gorgonzola cheese is not my style. That's like that aged, like sour cheese, right?
It's a little hard. Yeah, it's a little hard. It hits you. It's hard hitting. All right, so I can't use the quick hitter. Let's use like Shorty. We used to use Shorty all the time. Now can't use Shorty either?
Nah, I think we're out Shorty.
I'm not talking about like, yo, Shorty. Yeah. I'm not talking about that. Like Shorty with SHORTI. Yeah. We used to use that for like posts with the short captions.
Yeah, we would call them that internally.
Okay.
That was an internal business.
Well, now it's external. Now memos went out to the community. Now, I think it's evident that we need to come up with a name for this format. So maybe the few can name it for us. They can drop it in the comments on the YouTube show or send us a DM. This is going to be a quick one. There you go. That's safe. I can't say quickie.
No,
that would be weird, right? That would be weird, right? Yeah. I can't say quickie. All right, this is going to be a quick one. We had a call the other day with Alexander and Samantha from an agency that Nick Long hooked us up with respect to growing Fuel Hunt Rise, right? And I had the origin story conversation with them to bring them up to speed, like who we are, what our community is about, what we do, all that other stuff. And I told the origin story, and I mentioned the hockey stick year. I feel like every time we tell our origin story, we always say, and 2020 was our hockey stick year. And every time we talk about it for one specific reason, because that was the year that our community, right, and our company went like this, exponential growth. We talk about the blade of the hockey stick, right? So you're a hockey guy.
It used to be.
Yeah, same.
R.I.P. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy now.
R.I.P. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy too. But you used to be a hockey guy. I was a hockey guy. You played more hockey than I did, probably.
Not very well.
I didn't play hockey well either, man.
Yeah.
Ice or roller or foot. I gave them all a try, and I kind of sucked at all of them. I'm good at like getting stuff pegged at me and blocking it. So like goalie kind of worked for me.
Oh, you play goalie?
A little bit during foot hockey and roller hockey.
Yeah.
And I could move them.
Foot hockey gets not a bad rap. It doesn't get enough credit.
No, it doesn't get enough credit.
Like foot hockey is kind of
tough.
It's lit.
Yeah.
It's exciting, dude.
Yeah,
like,
and it's tough.
Those guys get after it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. So you're a hockey guy. I know that many in our community are hockey guys and gals too. When we did our Fuel on Hockey tee, that was like super popular. So
Colin Thompson's favorite tee.
Yeah, it is Colin Thompson's favorite tee. So I wanted to talk about the hockey stick, the whole hockey stick, not just the blade, not just the exponential growth piece, but also the stick itself, everything that precedes that blade, right? So like I said, you're a hockey guy. You understand like hockey sticks measured in inches, I think, right? Anywhere from like juniors are like 40 some inches to adult sticks that are like 60 some inches, right? The stick it's long, bro. There's a lot of stuff to the stick other than just the blade.
I agree.
And I think that the hockey stick is a great metaphor for success, right? If you think about what precedes that blade, it's a long, boring piece of wood or fiberglass, right? That, think of it like the path that you've got to walk till you get to that blade, till you get to that exponential growth, right? So I wanted to chop that up a little bit today because I think when I start telling the origin story, I want to add that to it. Mm-hmm. It's not just about that exponential growth here. It's about everything that preceded it too. It was a long go before we got to 2020.
Yeah. And in that long blade, or that's not the blade, but the shaft of the hockey stick there, it's filled with fear, uncertainty, doubt, ridicule, and a shitload of hard work that you have to do without knowing if this is ever going to work out.
Yep, exactly.
And that's what ultimately leads to that blade of the hockey stick. But a lot of people want the instant results because of the success they see others have on Instagram. Yeah.
Or the appearance of success that they see. Like on Instagram, you see the blade. That's what you see. You don't see the stick. You don't see what's above that blade. You just don't. Yeah. And I think that that's, something that we've always called attention to, but this actual like metaphor, this visualization for success just really made sense to me. Like taking a hockey stick, laying it on the ground, blade up, and looking at the length of that stick till you get to that blade and knowing that that represents the journey, right? That you have to go on before you get there.
And what's interesting too is when you do get to that blade, there's another hockey stick that's laid out just the exact same way. And it goes, and then there's a hockey stick.
Blow your mind, dude. I was thinking about this. This is the things I think about at like 4 something in the morning. So I'm like, yeah, but there's like another blade. I mean, there's another stick right there. You get to the top of that blade, and there's another one right there. Sometimes, like that joint isn't like right at the top of the blade. Sometimes it's down here. Like sometimes you go through an exponential growth phase, and you actually fall. Like you almost regress.
Yeah.
Then you got to run the stick again, right? To get to that blade again. You know what I mean? And they're kind of like all pieced together. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
No, I agree. So the second hockey stick might be broken.
Dude, the second hockey stick could be broken. The second hockey stick could be a junior stick. It's got like a really short run to your next. It could be like isn't Gretzky? I guess he had I think he had like one of like the longer hockey sticks, like 65 inches, 63 inches. Wasn't it Gretzky? He was super tall on skates.
I'm very.
It's like
bad.
a pronger. It's like a pronger stick.
I'm very bad at like sports history. Like people, you don't remember this guy? I'm like,
I'm terrible. You guys sometimes will say to me like, you don't know who this is. I'm like, I have no clue, dude. I have no clue. One of the important things that I wanted to call out. I know I said this was going to be a quick one. One of the important things that I wanted to call out about the hockey stick is that there's a lag. There's a delay. Like it takes a long time for success to compound. And I know that there's many people in our community from personal trainers to accountants to attorneys and some other professions, that they're like running that stick right now. And they're like, I'm doing all the right things. I'm doing all the right things. And it's not working. Like nothing's working. It's the same. It's boring. Like I don't feel like I'm making progress. And the reality of it is you just haven't done it long enough. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You got to run the full length of that stick, and it's different for everybody before you get to that exponential growth, either personally or professionally. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
No, I agree. And to reiterate, like, it's just people want instant results, and you don't get the results without doing the work long enough. And there's a lot of times no reward until that hockey stick. That's the crazy part, is there are achievements along the way, but a lot of the times you're too busy doing the work necessary to even know that they're there.
You're too entrenched to see the achievements. You're too entrenched to see the achievements. Mm-hmm. And that's why success looks like it's overnight. Mm-hmm. You know, because you're doing the right things for so long, and you're just doing the work, and you're just grinding, and you're bleeding, and you're crying, and you're sweating. And then one day it all clicks. And that doesn't mean that one day is all it takes. It takes 1,000 times that, 10,000 times that to get to that point. We were mentioning on an earlier show, like we say 2017 was our start year, right? But there were rumblings in 2016. Like you and I, late 2016, were working. So you and consistently, this wasn't one of these things where we're like, oh, Fuel Hunt sounds cool. Like it sounds cool to build a community. Let's do it for a month, take a month off. It's the holidays. Mm-hmm. We ain't going to apply effort right now. We'll get back to it after the holidays, or it's summer, or, I'm having a, baby, you're having a baby, whatever. Yeah. Like it wasn't, and, no disrespect, but we did the work regardless of our circumstances. And we did it for 4 years, 4 years to get to that blade of that hockey stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Almost 4 years. Almost 4 years.
But I would argue though that even our first couple sales felt like a hockey stick though. So there might have been a blade.
You know what they were, dude? Those little mini ones you used to get? The little mini hockey sticks?
But like that's what I'm saying. Like we were so excited when that those first orders came through on the site, and like I would get the notification on my phone. That was like literally the best part of my day. And then the hardest part was just trying to figure out how to make that happen enough to sustain us full time. Yeah. I remember we were so perplexed. One of our first orders was from South Africa. I think it was potential. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, your mom
was one of our first.
Yeah. Aunt Gina was definitely our first order.
Yeah. That's another lesson. Like, whatever you're building, if there's real ones in your life or in your family that are actually supporting you with their dollars and not asking for anything for free or a discount, and saying like, hey, I see what yous are doing. I see how hard you're working. And it's just silently they support with their dollars. They're real ones. If you've got them in your life right now and you're building something, man, give them a hug. Tell them you're grateful.
Has Aunt Gina always been that way with anything you were starting? She would always just like...
Yeah, or else.
Or does Fuel Hunt speak to her more than anything?
No, I mean, my parents are super supportive, but, my mom is so special. But there was a big or else factor with her. Like, she was just like, yo, look, like, you've got to work hard or else. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? There was some, but I wanted to, because, I wanted to give her back everything she gave me, But shout out to Mama B.
Aunt Gina.
Yeah, Aunt Gina, Mama B. Shout out. The hockey stick. What else, man? What else?
I was just thinking about when you brought this up, how long that hockey stick actually is, and the things that happen along the way, like the bumps in the hockey stick, of the negative bumps too, like the people telling you can't do something. Like they'll tell you a million reasons why you can't before they ever support you and tell you why you can.
Yeah, it's so wild. It's come up a couple of times today on some of the shows that we've done. Like we said earlier, we film multiple shows in one day because we're actually real people running a real business with a real community behind it. So we got shit to do. We can't just film episodes every day, but it came up, you know, many times with some of our other guests. And, you know, I think that most people that do that have good intentions. They just want you to be safe. They want to have your safety in mind. And, you know, they look at it as like you're about to walk off a 10-story building.
Yeah.
You know, it's life or death when they see some of these risks. And as a risk taker and a hard worker, because they're two different things, as a risk taker and a hard worker, you know the deal. You see clearly. You know it's a requirement.
It's funny, too, because a lot of times it feels like, I mean, this just applies to entrepreneurship or potentially even like fitness and exercise. A lot of the times I feel as though they ridicule and try and hold you back because they don't want you doing better or doing something more than they can or something they aren't able to do. Like, I remember when I was at my old job, I would always skip the vendor lunches. Like when they would bring in the pizza every day, there'd be hoagies or pizza or and I'd be like, I got my own like chicken and rice. Like I'm good. And they would always, dude, there's always shit to say.
Yeah, I'm kind of going through that. I've had a couple instances of it with alcohol since, you know, I'm 5 months sober now.
Congrats,
which is
man.
crazy, right? Yeah, which is crazy. And it just like off a whim decision, you know, it's, I definitely like drank a lot and made stupid ass decisions when I was younger. But like later on in life, it wasn't really a factor to me until I realized it was a factor, meaning like total human performance optimization. Like for me, I believe it can't happen if I have alcohol in my life. So, but anyway, like
it's crazy that alcohol is the only poison they ask you why if you choose to not drink it.
Yeah.
It's literally poison.
Well, I feel like even like when I say, hey, like I'm 5 months sober, like I'm proud of that, dude. Like, because with how stressful our lives are, like it would be very easy for me to have a beer while I'm grilling steaks for my family at night. But like I'm making another choice because I don't want to crutch. You know, I don't want to say to myself, well, I'm going to have this beer so I can relax. You know what I mean? Because I had a stressful day. Like I don't want crutches. I want competence. And it's uncomfortable, but I'm dealing with the stress in other ways. You know what I mean? But anyway, I've even had that with a few instances where it was like, oh, well, like, you know, you're too good for us, you don't drink or whatever. I'm like, no, dude, it has nothing to do with that. Like, you know, I'm just making decisions for my health and my longevity so that I'm here for the people that I love. And that includes the community. But it's the same thing. Like, I don't think a lot of people do it nefariously. Like, I don't think they're evil people.
Wow,
I think
what a word.
Yeah. I don't think they have bad intentions. There you go. I don't think they have bad intentions. I think it's just like, we hate what we ain't.
Yeah.
People
exactly.
like familiar. And that's how we're wired as humans. So like somebody going against the grain, like you go make some waves. People are going to have some comments, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
And I do hope that our podcast and this episode and all of our episodes will help remind you and motivate, push you to keep going, because no matter what people are ridiculing you or trying to hold you back, because we are living proof, and as are everyone we've had on this podcast to date who is living the life of their dreams or just living. Not everyone's a millionaire or a celebrity or, you know what I mean? But they're living a life of their dreams, doing what they love and what gives them purpose.
Everybody that we've had on this show as a guest, including the hosts of the show, you and I, right, have at least 3 of the 4 freedoms locked down, right? Freedom of time, freedom of purpose, freedom of relationships. Many of them are working on financial freedom.
Financial freedom is definitely,
you know what I mean? But that's the last one.
Yeah, that's the last.
That's the last unlock.
It's because a lot of times and I think we do come back to entrepreneurship a lot because we're just in that space. But a lot of the times, the people that have financial freedom don't have the other 3.
That could happen, or sometimes like folks that unlock financial freedom last. Like this is an extreme example, obviously, but like lottery winners. You know how most lottery winners' lives go because they haven't, and not for any fault of their own, but they haven't passed through the gates many times that you have to pass through to learn, become wise when you're unlocking the other three freedoms, time, purpose, relationships. So when that last one unlocks, it's like melee mode. You know what I mean? They don't understand. But I don't think people do that. Like I said, like you hate what you ain't. And where were we? We were talking about that, but then we took a little bit of an aside. Oh yeah, everybody on the show, yeah. And we go back to entrepreneurship. Like we're talking about entrepreneurship and the hockey stick, but the hockey stick relates, the stick and the blade relate to whatever your goal is. It could be weight loss. It could be side hustle to main gig. It could be jiu-jitsu. It could be entrepreneurship. And I know that we got some of the smartest, dopest people in our community. So I know that they're able to take what we're discussing in the entrepreneurship realm and apply that to them running the business that is their life, you know?
Yeah.
You know, these lessons are all transferable, man. Like I'm on this whole unbeatable laws kick.
Yeah.
And it might come up at BK Live when I speak there. Like there are just certain core concepts and certain unbeatable laws of the world and the universe. And they transcend careers and everything. And that's what we talk about here. And that's what the rules of the few are rooted in. You know what I mean? The rules of the few apply to business, life, relationships, everything. There's just certain ways that the world works and they seem mysterious until they're not.
Yeah.
You know? So
Sure.
Took a little bit of a departure from hockey. Got any cool hockey stories before we tie this up?
No, I mean, shout out to the few, our professional roller hockey team, and
There you go.
and the OG, not only the professional roller hockey, but my men's league team from back in the day. We were some of the first ever, like Nick Largo and guys, Ant Merrigan, guys that literally still support Few Hunt to this day and believed in Few Hunt before anyone else did.
Yeah, real ones, man. Real ones. You know what I mean? Never asked for a handout. We're always there. Got the original Fuel Hunt crest tattooed on their body. Shout out Logs.
Yeah.
You know, like I was saying earlier, you got somebody like that in your life, like send them a gratitude text message or give them a hug. Logs, next time I see you, I'm going to give you a hug, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a hug. But, you know, give them a hug because it's rare nowadays.
Very rare.
It's rare. It's rare. So, you know, for the few, like I said, I understand where you're at. I understand the long nights. I understand the early mornings. I understand the stress and the anxiety that comes with the dream that you're chasing and the risk that you're taking. And we understand it not because we've been there, but because we are there. Like we're doing the same with you. Just because there's a camera in front of us doesn't mean shit. We figured some things out, but we're still right there with you. So in this episode, that was the main message. And it was kind of wrapped up in this, you know, hockey stick visualization and metaphor. But hopefully that helps the few, you know, while they're walking this path, while they're on this journey, they can think of the hockey stick and they can see the blade, you know, in the distance and know that everything that they are doing, all the hard work that they've put in, it's going to be worth it in the long run.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth it in the long run. Anything else to add? We'll sign this off. This might be our shortest episode ever.
I don't know. I think we do have another 20-minute one out there.
Do we?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, I don't like to lose, so next episode I'm going to make the shortest episode ever. All right, I'm going to leave the few with something. Remember, always choose hard work over handouts. Always choose effort over entitlement. No one owns you. No one owes you. You're one of the few. Now let's hunt.